3 weeks, no rain, 95 degrees every single day. I walked through my garden expecting to find damage, wilted stems, burnt leaves, and plants that had given up. Every high-maintenance plant I owned was struggling. These 9 were not. Not one of them looked stressed. Not one had dropped a single flower. They were standing exactly where I left them, blooming, full, and completely unbothered by everything summer had thrown at them. One of these survived being run over by a lawnmower and came back the following spring. One has been growing in the same spot for over 60 years without a single intervention. One deer will not touch, no matter how hungry they are. And I have the footage to prove it. 9 perennials, 0 compromise. These plants do not just survive drought, deer, and neglect. They refuse to acknowledge that any of those things exist. Stay with me, and if this is the list you've been looking for, subscribe before we get to number 1. That plant alone is worth it.
Number 9 looks like a succulent decided to become a perennial and brought all of its drought survival skills with it. Sedum autumnjoy, also known as Hylotelephium spectabile, grows about 2 feet tall with thick, fleshy stems and blue-green succulent leaves that stay attractive from spring through summer. Then, in late August, flat-topped flower heads the size of your palm emerge in soft pink and gradually deepen through September into a rich copper red. This plant stores water in its stems and leaves the way a cactus does. 3 weeks of drought that would collapse everything around it barely gets its attention. Sedum autumnjoy keeps standing as if nothing happened. Deer leave it alone, rabbits leave it alone. Most insects ignore it. The only visitors it actively attracts are bees and butterflies, which work the flower heads from August through October.
Here is the detail most gardeners miss. Do not cut it back in autumn. Leave the dried flower heads standing through winter. They catch snow beautifully, provide food and shelter for overwintering insects, and add structure to the garden when almost everything else has disappeared. In February, when most plants are completely invisible, sedum is still standing and still doing something beautiful.
Number 8 looks like it was designed by someone who had never heard of rainfall, and that is exactly why it thrives where everything else fails. Russian sage, but not the old blue spire variety that tends to split open by its 3rd year. This is denim and lace, a compact selection bred specifically to solve the problems of the original. Perovskia atroplicifolia denim and lace grows about 3 feet tall, with silver-white aromatic stems carrying tiny lavender-blue flowers in airy clouds from July through September. The entire plant moves with the slightest breeze. It never looks stiff, never looks tired, and never appears to need anything from you.
Hot, dry soil that would kill most perennials actually makes this plant bloom harder. Rich, humid soil tends to weaken it. This is one of the rare plants that genuinely performs better when you ignore it. Deer find the silver aromatic foliage completely unappealing. It is consistently listed as deer-resistant by university extension services and experienced gardeners alike. It grows reliably in USDA zones 4 through 9 and thrives in full sun with lean, well-drained soil. Cut it back to 6 inches in early spring. That is the only task this plant ever asks of you. One cut once a year.
Number 7 has been growing on American prairies without any human assistance for thousands of years, and it does not need your help now either. Echinacea purpurea, the plain species coneflower. Not the fancy orange and red hybrids, but the original. Pink-purple petals surrounding a bold orange-brown center cone, standing about 3 feet tall. This plant is native to American prairies, where drought is not an occasional event. It is the normal weather pattern. Echinacea evolved to handle heat, dry spells, and poor soil with ease. Planting it in a well-watered garden bed is giving it far more than it actually needs.
3 weeks without rain, and it continues blooming as if nothing happened. Deer usually pass it by. The coarse, slightly prickly foliage makes it far less appealing to browsing animals.
The species form has also been recognized as one of the most dependable, long-lived perennials in extensive garden trials. It self-sows gently into bare soil, creating free plants in the places you would most likely want them. Goldfinches strip the seed heads each September, and monarch butterflies visit nearly every open flower during migration. It grows reliably in USDA zones 3 through 9 and tolerates almost any soil and nearly any level of neglect. This is a plant that can thrive for decades from a single inexpensive nursery pot. The value of this one is almost unbelievable.
Number 6 grows in Alaska. It grows in Florida. It grows in the Arizona desert and through Minnesota winters. There is almost no condition in America this plant will not survive. Stella de Oro daylily, a selection of Hemerocallis, is one of the most adaptable and dependable perennials you can plant. It forms neat clumps about 12 inches tall and produces buttery yellow, trumpet-shaped flowers continuously from late spring through early fall. For months, it keeps blooming with minimal effort. Once established, it asks for very little and continues to perform year after year. Its thick, tuberous roots store water efficiently, allowing it to handle dry conditions with ease. It tolerates severe winter cold, summer heat, and a wide range of soils. Deer may occasionally sample the foliage, but they often ignore it when other plants are available.
Quick one before number 5. Every plant on this list has one thing in common that the catalog never photographs and the nursery tag never mentions. These plants were not bred to look good in a pot in April. They were bred, or in many cases simply evolved, to survive conditions that most plants cannot. Catalog photos always show plants at peak first-year performance under ideal nursery conditions. In a catalog, it is always year 1. The light is perfect. The moisture is perfect. The soil is perfect. Your garden is not a catalog. Your garden has droughts. It has deer. It has weeks when you forget to look at it. It has summers that are harder than any plant was ever promised. The plants on this list were built for your real garden, not the catalog version of it. If you have not subscribed yet, do it right now. The next video after this one is the list every gardener should see before spending another $1 at the nursery. You do not want to miss it.
Number 5 grows wild along American roadsides from Maine to Texas without anyone planting it, watering it, or giving it a single moment of attention. And yet, people still pay $9 a pot for it every spring. Black-eyed Susan Goldsturm, or Rudbeckia fulgida, produces golden yellow petals surrounding a deep chocolate brown center and grows to about 24 inches tall. It blooms from July through October, delivering 4 months of color, precisely when most summer gardens are beginning to fade. This is a North American native. It evolved in American soil through American weather, drought cycles, and constant deer pressure. Long before any of us were gardening, this plant was already perfectly adapted to these conditions. Research and garden trials have shown that the Goldsturm cultivar blooms longer and more heavily than many standard forms. It spreads underground by rhizomes and also self-seeds, allowing it to gradually form larger, more impressive colonies without any effort from you.
Leave the seed heads standing through winter. Goldfinches, sparrows, and chickadees feed on them from autumn into late winter. While others spend money on bird feeders, this plant provides food for wildlife at no extra cost. It grows reliably in USDA zones 3 through 9 and tolerates poor soil, clay, and dry conditions with ease. The less attention you give it, the more it behaves exactly as nature intended. A tough, beautiful roadside survivor.
Number 4 has been growing on dry, rocky Mediterranean hillsides for centuries, without irrigation, without fertilizer, and without anyone paying attention to it. Compared to that, your garden is a luxury vacation. Lavender, specifically Lavandula angustifolia hidcote, is the compact variety known for producing some of the deepest purple flower spikes and the strongest fragrance among commonly available lavenders. It grows to about 18 inches tall, with silver-gray aromatic foliage and rich purple blooms that appear from June through August. The fragrance is
instantly recognizable. And those same aromatic oils are exactly what make deer and rabbits avoid it. Deer rarely browse lavender. The scent is simply too intense for them. Planted at the front of a bed, it acts like a living border that smells wonderful to you and highly unappealing to browsing animals.
Drought is not a problem for lavender. It is the condition it prefers. Native to the dry hillsides of the Mediterranean, it is adapted to hot summers and very little rainfall. In fact, overwatering is far more likely to harm it than neglect. It grows reliably in USDA zones 5 through 8 and requires full sun with sharply drained soil. If your soil stays wet, adding gravel can improve drainage significantly. Cut the plant back by about 1/3 after the first bloom to encourage a second flush of flowers in late summer and to prevent the plant from becoming woody over time. As soon as the flowers open, bees cover every spike. On a warm June morning, a patch of lavender in full bloom is alive with movement and sound.